Hello, hello. It is the Trading Captain, and I'm sitting up $39.04, but quite frankly, today was a very, very bad day for me. Now, before I go ahead and actually show what happened today, I want to go ahead and first talk about what happened yesterday, because I feel like this really sets the tone for why I ended up doing what I did today. So, yesterday we had 3 trades. Notably, I was in a very drowsy state. I was not very focused, so I made a lot of mistakes, and that is why I had these bigger losers. I had trades where I was not focusing enough on the red flags, and I was missing a lot of things, which got me into trades I should not have been in, which led to these results, which is fine on its own. I identified that, and because I was in a better state today, I felt more rested. That was not the issue today. So I'll go ahead and swap here to today's spreadsheet. And I took 3 trades. 2 of them were on stream, the 2 losers here, and this massive, massive winner today was off stream. And this looks great on paper, but this was a horrible trade. So first of all, going into today, I had a $60 loss. A big loss, not huge, but a big loss. And really on the forefront of my mind today was, I need to make the loss back. And this is always how revenge trading and trying to recover losses starts. It is going into the day with the mindset of recovery. Now, this was honestly probably one of the worst days to have this mindset too, because we had a lot of stocks today that had pretty big moves. First of all, EVTV, this is a stock that has been running several days. This was one I had on watch, and we had a very nice move from this one. I didn't trade it yesterday, and seeing it pop up today was relevant. We also had AHMA. This was a stock that I ruled off because there was no news on it at the time. And this one ended up doing a crazy, crazy move. Very impressive. And yeah, we just had several other stocks. There's one other one, but I'll get to that in the trade review. But today was a much hotter day in general. And this led me to really want to push harder to try and recoup losses. You figure the 2 things on my mind were, 1, today's a hotter day, and 2, I want to recoup losses. And these were a very, very bad combination. So first of all, we had SPRC, I believe, and this was the stock that we saw first of all. I ruled this one out thinking it was a bad candidate because this is a stock with a history of rolling over. Now, to be fair, it did roll over. So I was correct that it would roll over, but it held up much stronger than I initially expected, and it looked very impressive. To me, it looked like I missed a lot. So I'm here trying to hold back, trying to be patient, and the stock proves me wrong. And next we had XAIR. And this was the first stock I traded. This one actually ended up rallying too, which is crazy. But here, I got in here on this first pullback. The volume was still quite extended on this downward pressure, and to me, that's an immediate disqualification candidate for me. I should not have touched this one. I did it anyway. And part of that was because the news catalyst was very similar to SPRC, and SPRC did well, so this could have been a theme at play. So I think that makes sense, but considering my technical indicator said don't buy, I should have respected that because typically I give a lot of priority to that indicator. So I bought this one, ended up rolling over, and yeah, took a loss for it. Makes sense in hindsight. It was a bad entry based off my criteria. The next trade was BCTX. And this one was very, very frustrating. I got very triggered from this one and had to just walk away immediately. So similar story. This was a breakdown. Again, I got in here on higher volume on these pullbacks. It's a big rule for mine. Broke that rule. I got punished for it. And as it turns out, I sold 2 cents from the bottom. And then to watch this thing over the next 30 minutes rally all the way back up, it was very infuriating. I had to walk away for a while. And unfortunately, I came back because I do my swing trading during the market session. So this really created a very bad environment for me because it was pulling me back into observing stocks whenever I was supposed to be done trading. And that was very bad, right? Because I ended up taking this third trade, which was a purely emotional hijack, ELAB. And there was no justification for this. This was a stock sold off. There was no news on it, but this is a stock with a history of selling off. And yeah, I was watching this one. I was so surprised how it was oversold. And really, I was in this state of frustration because I was losing and making a lot of bad decisions. And then even whenever I try to be disciplined and cut the trade, I sell 2 cents from the bottom, and it just felt like I was doing everything wrong. And this was really just making me frustrated. So when I saw this, my only thought really in my head was, I want to make the money back. This is moving a lot. I can make the money back with this. And this is pure emotional hijack. There's no way around it. And I ended up buying here. I saw a huge amount of buying coming through. As it turns out, I don't remember the exact price, but we can look here. 358 is where I bought. I bought on one of these two candles, but I essentially bought the bottom and I held through most of this recovery. I sold half around here and the other half on this last break. So I had a home run trade essentially, but this was on a stock that was not planned. I had already hit max loss and walked away, and I came back to trade this one. So that's another rule, right? This is just purely a dead knife setup. There's no real support here that I was looking at. I think this might be all-time lows too. I'm not certain. Yeah, so there's no support here. This was just a purely gut emotional play. And it was built out of frustration. It was built out of frustration because I lost money on Monday, wanted to recoup it, and then today I was so focused on the hotter market and on just trading something that I was ignoring the main signals that I need that give me the justification to enter a trade, and I was getting punished for it ruthlessly. Today was a very, very ruthless punish, especially with the second trade, right? The second trade really, if you were watching me live, I ended the stream almost immediately after because I was so frustrated, not only that I caught this and broke my rule again, but the fact that I was punished down to the penny on this recovery. It was very, very frustrating. And that ended up spiraling into the ELAB trade. And yeah, this just shows that when you're in a mental state of prioritizing recovery over process, this really creates a situation where you're destined to fail. Because if you're trading on pure emotion, then it just spirals. It's an exponential curve. If you keep on trading aggressively and recklessly, you just get more aggressive and more reckless. And there's two real things I need to draw from this to correct. The first one is that when I have a losing day like this on Monday, I really need to reassess and come in and say, and restate really, that the goal is the process, not the results. Today was, quite frankly, a failure on all parts. I wasn't focusing on the process. Even when I walked away at max loss, which was the most disciplined thing I could have done, I ended up coming back. So that's another demerit. So the two things I really think I need to work on, first of all, when I have losses like this, I need to downsize. Even though I've recovered today, technically, right, I'm in the green. This is not a victory, this is a defeat. And as a result of that, I'm going to downsize tomorrow. I need to show myself that I can actually take the correct entries and follow the correct processes. I don't care about the results. I don't care if I make money or not. I need to be making sure I'm taking the right processes, the right entries, making sure I'm adhering to my criteria. And the second one is, after I'm done trading, because I do my adjustments during the market session, I need to not engage with the Webull account after that. This is a tough one for me. I'm not sure exactly how I should implement it, because at the end of the day, I need to be on to adjust my positions, but I also need to not be looking for potential entries like this. So I think going forward, I'm okay with continuing to monitor for day trade setups during market hours if I am up on the day and the previous day was green. If the previous day was red, or if I'm red on the day, that creates pressure to recover loss, and that pressure is what ultimately made me come to this and end up FOMO trading, revenge trading, whatever you want to call it, into this. So really, that's what I'm looking to focus in on and really target going into tomorrow. You'll see me taking reduced size tomorrow. Try and be here for the whole stream. Like, it was definitely the right call to walk, because I was just so frustrated after that loss. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully you learned something from this. And really the worst thing, this really is just sourness in my mouth. The fact that I got rewarded for bad behavior today is very rough for me, because I got 142 bucks out of this home run trade, right? I timed it down to the penny. I captured almost the entirety of this move. So it was a great trade, but because I followed no criteria, because it was almost purely emotional play, I can't give any credibility to it. But yeah, just wanted to share this experience, share my thoughts. This is a bit longer video than normal, but I feel like this was an important day, so I needed to spend more time on it. If you found this information helpful, please do leave a like, helps me out, and I will be back tomorrow. Take care.